Hi, this is TJR, and another Oscar telecast has come and gone. And I've grown up all my life watching the Oscars. I've always loved and enjoyed watching the Oscars. Growing up, I had more respect for the Oscars than I did for the Grammys because when I would look at the Grammys growing up, it just seemed to be a popularity contest. You know, whoever sold the most records seemed to win all the time. But looking at the Oscars, box office was not a deciding factor in who won, it seemed. Just look at this year. You know, Moonlight, a film that many people have not seen, not heard of, won Best Motion Picture. To me, Oscars always seem to be more about quality versus popularity. And so growing up, I always respected the Oscars a whole lot more than the Grammy Awards, even though I am a Grammy voting member. I've just never had the opportunity to be an Oscar voting member. Probably never will be. But at any rate, though, there is one thing that continues to bother me about the Oscars. And before I get into that, I want to give you just a little bit of background info, something you may not know about me. I do talk a lot about music on this channel. I do talk about film as well. But something that I haven't talked about much yet on this channel is that I am a huge fan and admirer of both the art and history of animation. And when I think about animation, I think beyond just Disney and Pixar. And don't get me wrong, I love the Disney films, I love the Pixar films. But I feel like in America, animation is very restricted to just family films. And the few films that come out of America that are not family films get, very little traction. By way of comparison, in other countries, especially Japan, animation can be anything. Animation can be romance. Animation can be westerns. Animation can be espionage thrillers. Animation can be science fiction. Animation can be human drama. Animation can even be erotica. There's really no limit. And other countries also, take animation to other areas that we don't really take it to very much here in the United States, at least not with any real, mainstream acceptance. And back in 1991, Beauty and the Beast from Walt Disney Studios was the first animated film ever to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Motion Picture. And I thought that was an amazing thing. Now, it didn't win that year, but it got nominated. Now, the thing is immediately after that, a category was created, Best Animated Feature. There is no doubt in my mind that the reason this category was created is to keep an animated film from ever being nominated in the category of Best Motion Picture ever again. And I think this comes from just a general prejudice about animation here in the United States. We have this attitude that it's only for family films. And I guess that's an improvement because I think it used to be we thought animation was only for kids. Now we actually say it's for family audiences, for general viewing. Once again, nothing wrong with family films. Like I said, I love the Disney and Pixar films too. But it does appear to me that the Academy Awards is hell-bent on making sure that an animated film will never get nominated for Best Motion Picture. As if it's to me, it's just a prejudice. Animation is not at the same level that live action is. And so that's my first complaint. Now, there were some in the animation industry who said, well, they weren't happy with this decision, but they said on the good side, though, more animated films will get Oscar nominations that otherwise wouldn't have, because we have a category now for animated films. And maybe there's nothing wrong with having the category, except for the fact, once again, I think it's to keep animation out of the Best Picture category. So The second thing that bothers me now is that, yes, more animated films do get an Oscar nomination now because we have this category. The only problem is the only films that win every single year are pretty much Disney and Pixar. Even a studio like Laika, which has given us films like Kubo and the Two Strings and Coraline, Box Trolls, even a studio like this, which does still make films, for family viewing, but they push the boundaries. They really do. If you've ever watched any of the films, they really push the boundaries of what is considered family entertainment. And I do respect them for that. And I really do admire their films. They've been nominated every single time for all of their films, but they've never won. And films that either are animated films from other countries that really do give us adult animation. And by adult animated films, I don't mean raunchy or X-rated. I mean adult drama, adult subject matter. For instance, this year, there was a film entitled The Red Turtle that was nominated that is a fantastic, a film that is not just what we would call your family movie. Last year, the film When Marnie Was There from Japan, which is both a human drama and also a ghost story. An incredible film, nominated, but of course didn't win. It almost feels like the voting body of the Oscars, all they've seen are the Disney and Pixar films. They haven't seen any of these other films. So these other films just don't win. I think it's a shame. And it's the only thing that really bothers me about the Oscars. I can almost, I can bet money that every year, it doesn't matter who is in the running, doesn't matter how amazing the other films are, it's always going to be Disney and Pixar. And once again, I have nothing against Disney and Pixar. They make great films. Other film categories have also been ghettoized by the Oscars. Until The Lord of the Rings finally won an Oscar for The Return of the King and won for Best Motion Picture, science fiction, fantasy, and horror never had a chance of ever winning, a Best Motion Picture Oscar. And they'd always been ghettoized. And comedies have always been sort of ghettoized too. Comedies, they might get nominated, but they'll never win against drama. For some reason, we feel that drama has more value and significance than comedy when it comes to these types of awards. But, at least these films, comedies, science fiction, at least they have the chance to get nominated for Best Motion Picture. Animation has been, until this changes, animation has had this chance taken away from them, from it ever happening again. And I think that Beauty and the Beast, took the Oscars by surprise, and though the powers that be just decided we can't let this happen again. And so once again, I love the Oscars. I really enjoy them, but I'm always very bothered by this, and I just wanted to get this off my chest and talk about this. I'm curious to know what you think, especially if you are you a big animation fan or just a casual fan? Are you indifferent about animation? What do you think of this topic? Be curious to know your thoughts and your feedback on this. Anyways, this is TJR. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.